Welcome to your Marriage Journey Pod. This is Toyosi Erogbogbo. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I think is crucial for relationships, married, single, or even those that are in courtship. When you take a step back and you think about relationship, no two relationships are the same. And as a result of that, there's certain things that one needs to really factor in that would help you in this whole journey called marriage. And as I often say, marriage is a journey. It's not a destination. The goal is for you to continue to strive to continue to be better people in your marriage. With that being said, today, the title of what it is that I'm going to be talking about is the 4 C's that I think are really crucial in relationships. 4 C's, there are 4 of them that I believe that if you take time to really understand, it will definitely help you as we navigate this. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is character. Oftentimes we see this, and when you define character, it's the aggregate of features or traits of an individual. When you think about character for a second, it's who that person is at their core. So everything is stripped away. How do you make certain decisions? What would you do in certain situations? And when you think about it, character would help a marriage. The right character. So what am I saying? If you take a step back and look at character, it's the sum traits of an individual. Everything that you and I see today comprises of certain things that form the characteristics or the attributes of that thing, camera, phone, whatever it is. It has certain attributes. And those attributes is what define what that object or tool is. So with that being said, when you look at character for a quick second, it goes beyond tall, dark, and handsome. It cuts across race. It cuts across belief system. It cuts across ethnicity or nationality. Your character is what would sustain your marriage. You see, charisma, we're going to talk about that in a second. Charisma, looks, your resources, all of those things can get you married. You know, your physical qualities, tall, dark, handsome, long hair, you have a certain shape, you're a certain cup size, whatever it is, all of those things can get you married. But what would keep you married is the character of who it is that you are, because that's who your spouse is going to relate to on a day-to-day basis. And when you think about character, the Bible talks about this in Galatians, talking about the fruit of the Spirit, right? These are things that you take time to develop. You can develop godly character. You can develop good character. But here's what happens. Oftentimes, we overlook the character of that individual and we focus on other things. So if you're looking at it, like I said, the qualities, the physical attributes will get you married. But what will keep you married is your character. Are you a kind person? How do you handle pressure? Are you a faithful person? Are you somebody that would say certain things and do something different? You see, what keeps you is your character. What will keep you married is your character. Thank God for love. Thank God she's pretty. Thank God he's handsome. Thank God he has all those other qualities. But at the core, it is the character of the individuals that are involved in the relationship that will sustain that marriage. It is the character of the individual you're getting married to that will keep your home. It is the character of the individual that you're getting married to that would raise your kids. It's that mindset. What is your character? What is your character? You see, the Bible, like I said, talks about the fruit of the Spirit: long-suffering, peace, gentleness, kindness, patience, self-control. These are things that you and I could develop. So the first thing, as you look to settle in your relationship, as you look to build marriage, as you look to walk life or do life as it were with this individual, what's the character of that individual that you're getting married to? What's the character like? Is that somebody that, again, at the core, is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with? Think about that for a second. The second one that I'll talk about as a 4C is charisma. And depending on, your exposure, depending on who it is that you are, your charisma is that thing that attracts. It's very attractive. You're charismatic. In certain instances, you have this gift, you have this skill set that wasn't necessarily worked for, but it was given to you. And as a result of that, people gravitate towards that ability. So whether it's you're an athlete, whether it's you could sing, whether it's you're an actor, you're a celebrity, you're smart, whatever it is, there's this charisma that you have about you. And it attracts. There's no doubt about that. Charisma attracts. But it is interesting that you need to understand certain things. When it comes to charisma is not just who that person is. That person was given to that gift. Unfortunately, we celebrate charisma at the expense of character. When you look in Timothy, Paul was talking to Timothy and was talking about, look, if you desire to have the office of a bishop, you have to have certain things. And some of the things that he talked about there was character traits. It was character traits, not charisma. Not, yes, you could preach, you could sing, you're charismatic, you're an athlete. All of those things are attractive. But what would keep your home is not just your charisma, it's your character. So the first C that I'll tell you is this person's character. The second thing is, yes, you need to understand the role of charisma. In today's society, social media, with the advent of social media, there's a lot of attention drawn to personalities. And that's why, unfortunately, sometimes you say yes, when you get close to your celebrity, you feel disappointed. Yes, what attracted you was that charisma. But what threw you off was their character. Character keeps. Charisma would attract. So if you're charismatic, yes, you could attract people, you can attract the audience, but what will ultimately keep the audience engaged or the audience tuned to you or that person spend the rest of their life with you and enjoy it is going to be your character. The next thing that I want to talk about, and I want you to have perspective as we talk about these 4 C's. The next thing that I want to talk about is commitment. I can't tell you the number of times whereby people get into a relationship and we're having this conversation, and for some reason it's like, hey, I'm tired, I'm not happy, they're not making me, it's about me, I'm not motivated in this relationship anymore. And there are all of these things that is said, but at the core of it, it lacks commitment. When you think about the marriage vows, is I am committing, I promise to love you, to spend the rest of my life with you, till death do us part. You're making all these vows, you're saying all these things. But what would you need is your commitment. Are you committed to this person? And it's easy to see. Before you get married to somebody, before you go into a relationship with somebody, test their commitment level, not just to you, at other things. Is there anything in their life they are committed to? And when you think about that for a second, is there something that they know, come sun, come rain, come snow, God bless you if you're in Chicago, if it's snowing, is this person going to still do the things they have said? Commitment is another tool, another ingredient that keeps the marriage going. You do things not because you feel like, and that's what society is pushing to right now. Everybody is into their feelings. This is how I feel. Oh, I feel a certain way. You made me feel a certain way. This is how I feel. Feelings. But let me tell you something. Those feelings are subject to change. You need to be able to put your feelings in check and focus on what your commitment is. I have committed to be your husband, and as a result of that, I will commit to playing those roles. I will commit to loving you. Ephesians 5 tells us, it says, husband, love your wife. How? As Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? He died. So it's a commitment. Marriage is commitment, not convenience. It's not always going to be convenient to do certain things. It's not always going to be convenient for you to continue to do or feel, or you have to be committed to things. You see, the people that succeed in marriage is not just the people that are in love with each other. It's the people that are committed to one another, despite how they feel. I am committed to seeing these things through. Go and ask the doctor that just spent 6, 8, 10, 12 hours studying overnight if he's really passionate about medicine. No, he'll tell you it's the commitment. Look at the people that go through college. You go through college 4 years, you go get your master's degree or your PhD or whatever. It's commitment that gets you there. It's not just the passion. It's not just the feeling. So one of the things that I want to communicate to us as we continue to listen is what I have to be committed. Am I somebody that commits? Can I commit to a cause? Can I commit to this individual? Better still, is this individual what my commitment? Those are things that you need to evaluate, because like I said, commitment in today's generation with the advent of social media and feelings is dwindling, right? But that is why it seems as though marriage struggles. Why? Because we go into marriage thinking marriage is 50-50. No, marriage is 100-100. I'm bringing all of me. Guess what? I'm not waiting for you to bring yours. I will bring mine regardless. Why? Because I am committed to this. If you think about this for a second, think about the marriage vow. When you make those vows, do we understand what it takes? Now, I am committing to spending the rest of my life with this individual, regardless of what it is that they do. Now, it's one thing for me to make a commitment that I have the ability and to see through. That's one thing. But think about this. For some of us that were on projects in school, grad school or your undergrad or even at work, you're working on a project. The success of that project, if it was solely dependent on you, then you can plan your time, you can plan how much resources you want to allocate to it, and you can plan what it is that you're trying to get done, and you can just grind. But because the project has other people's input or requires other people's input, then you need to work as a team. And now the success of that project oftentimes is not just dependent on you, it's dependent on us as a team. So what am I saying? I'm telling you today that the reality is this: when it comes to marriage, you need commitment. You need to commit. You need to understand the place of commitment, despite how this person makes me feel. And you start to practice those things as a single person. What it is that you're committed to now? What is it that you're following through to? What it is that you're following through to now? What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're passionate about? What are you committed to? And then the last thing that I would say is conflict. When we talk about conflict, and it's always like, well, communication. Yeah. Communication is important, but here's what I would put more emphasis on is conflict. Your ability to still disagree to agree is crucial. Your ability to navigate conflict. Your wife is saying, I want to go left, and you're saying you want to go right. How do you still navigate that as a team? Communication is important, but I'm putting a little bit more weight on conflict. How do we work despite how we feel about the certain situation? It's important for you to start to look at conflict resolution tools, conflict resolution techniques. How do I resolve conflict? With my spouse, with my husband, with as an individual, with my boyfriend, my girlfriend. What is it that I need to do? These are 4 areas. Again, the first area is character, and not in any chronological order or not in any order of importance. It's understand what's this person's character like. What is this person's character like? Is this person just focusing on their charisma? What is it that is attracting me to this person? Is it just charisma? Let me put that in perspective. Oftentimes, particularly for those that are in the church setting, you find out that, yes, she could sing. Oh, every time she sings, things just happen. Every time he ministers, things just happen. Those things are great. I would be bold to tell you this. Anointing is great, but anointing alone cannot keep your home without character. Anointing alone cannot keep your home without character. Character helps your home. Character sustains your home. It's like I am dwelling on character because recent times you've seen younger folks go into marriage and they lack the character. And even older folks, they struggle in marriage because of character. I'm telling you right now, if there's anything that is going to affect your home as a single person, it's right there in your character. Character, charisma, conflict resolution, commitment. If you take a step back to really digest and understand these things, I can guarantee you a number of things. One, you will start to see yourself in a different light. Two, you will start to understand what is required or who it is that you need to become to be able to sustain a marriage. You will start to understand that I will focus on my character. I will focus on my commitment. I will focus on conflict resolution. And yes, I would work on my charisma. Because again, charisma, if you don't put charisma in its place, you'll find out that that's all that was attractive to you, but it can't sustain because it's a gift. If you don't take time to develop your character, then charisma will pull you in, and then character that is supposed to sustain you would be missing, and then that's why you feel a certain way, that I was deceived. So with these 4 points, my goal for this episode today is to help us really understand that character, charisma, commitment, and conflict resolution are tools that you and I need to focus on as we build a sustainable marriage. Again, until I come your way next time, again, this is Toyosi Erogbogbo, your marriage journey, and I want to encourage you to listen to our YouTube channel, and then also take time to subscribe to Marriage Mondays. In Marriage Mondays, every Monday we meet at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we dive into questions and answers that relates to relationship. Until I come your way again, see you next time. Thank you so much, and God bless you.